half decade. It's ridiculous. Some news. Jeremy Fowler reported today. He actually is a decent reporter and does have contacts. Chase Claypool on the trade block. That's what he's saying. Has been all season. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't buy that he's on the trade block. I buy they're contacting the Steelers about him.
Yes.
That's what I believe. I don't believe he's on the trade block. I think they're just in general contacting the Steelers, checking in on his, like, are you interested? That's what I think's happening. I mean, we're getting close to the dedeline, so teams that are desperate for wide receiver, and it's perfect timing. Look what he just did for them.
I know.
I mean, and I'll tell you what, man, like, I don't know I got mixed feelings on this. It's like,
I tweeted that today. I had the same thing. I don't know what to think with him.
You see what the kid can do.
The potential. Yep.
And you're like, man, like, like he went off in that game and essentially won it for them with the way he played that last quarter. Right. And like,
no, they wouldn't have won the game without him.
But absolutely. Right. But then, like, you think to yourself, we haven't seen him play like that since his rookie year. Right? I don't remember him really doing that much.
No, the last 2 years he's been bad.
And leading into this game, he wasn't doing much.
No,
right?
we were all over him. Everyone in Steelers Nation was all over him.
So, and it's just strange, like, because I equate this to Trubisky as well, because, like, there's people clamoring for him to start. And it's like, look, man, this is one of those trap things where, like, you see Claypool do this and you see Trubisky do that. And you're like, oh my God, we got to go back to Trubisky. Oh my God, Claypool's found it, because we were talking that shit. We were talking that same lingo on fucking Sunday. Yeah. We were like, oh my God, maybe he turned a corner, but we were just excited. Now that we've got a chance to calm down, it's like, okay, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. It might have been just a fluke. And this is not me trying to be mean or an asshole or, I'm just saying everybody needs to calm fuck down. It was a game that was strange from the get-go.
Oh my God.
And we somehow pulled this off. They stepped up. They should be proud. I'm proud of them. They were awesome. Kudos to them. But they haven't been consistent with a fucking thing.
No.
Trubisky has not been consistent with anything the whole season, and Claypool hasn't been consistent since his rookie year. So how are we going to take this one game and be like, oh my God, we can get a third for Chase, and Trubisky might have turned things around too. He now knows that, this is your life. He's going to now be able to go out there and he's not going to have no fear and all this other bullshit. Bro, we watched him for 4 games suck ass.
Yeah, it's two separate things for me. Chase Claypool has the ability to be that good. I don't think there's any question. He's got the physical gifts to be that good. He just needs to put it together. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know if it's a attention to detail thing. I don't think anybody knows what it is with Chase Claypool because the talent's there. Mitch Trubisky, on the other hand, I mean, we were all got excited, and I have to admit there's a little part of me that YOLO Mitch Trubisky is kind of interesting because
right. I mean,
but
I get
Tomlin
it.
Put it to bed today. Tomlin put it to bed today,
and I'm glad he did.
Yeah, it's one of the better things of his press conferences. He's not even going to deal with that horseshit. If Kenny's healthy, if he's cleared of protocol, he's going to play. He's going to take all the snaps in practice tomorrow. So at least we can put that to bed. Like I said, I'm a little interested in a Mitch Trubisky who's not so tentative and is going to sling it and let it go. But
I'm worried it's only because he didn't have time to think. He didn't have time to think. It was, hey man, you're going in, you're it, go.
Yeah. Yep.
So he didn't have time. But you give him a whole week to think about the fucking shit, and now he doesn't want to lose, whatever.
Paralysis by analysis, right?
Just think about how many times he threw down the middle to Chase for the first down, minus the one on the sideline.
Yeah.
It was just like, bro, where the fuck was that at?
And a couple of those passes were, after watching them on the All-22, a little bit lucky. That touchdown pass, that could have been picked real easy. I don't want to take – yeah,
the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
If it's any other late, it's picked.
It's picked. So, yeah, maybe we should definitely pump the brakes. But as far as Chase Claypool, man, he played his whole rookie season like this. He can do this.
Yep.
He's just got to be consistent. And I don't know, what would it take to get Chase Claypool off your hands if you were the Steelers general manager? A third? A second? Would you hold out for a second? I don't think they'll get a second, but
I think a second would do it.
If they offered a second, I'd be like, I have to take this.
Because here's the thing, the Steelers have so many needs, but to actually have a good shot at landing a game changer, or a guy that that's going to really, really help this team down the road, I would want a first or second rounder. In my head, I'm thinking. I'm not saying he's worth a first rounder. Don't get me wrong. No. I'm saying in general, I think we're talking. If I'm going to let this guy go, when I know the potential he has, I'm going to want a second rounder.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think a third.
I think I'm holding.
You get a third. I mean, just think about some of our third round draft picks lately.
Believe me, Kendrick Green. Anybody?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, So I think if you want to help this team, if you're going to give him up, I give him up for a second. I tell him a second, and that's the standard. If you can't meet a second round pick, then hey, not interested.
The Steelers aren't moving anybody either, unless the only way I can see them moving somebody out is if they lose these next two games, like we've talked about in the past, and they're 2 and what would that be, 2-6? Then maybe they'll start listening to flyers on certain players. But if they're, like we talked about a million times, if they're 3-5 going in the body, they're not trading anybody away. They're going to bring somebody in.
Nope. Tomlin will see that 500 record within striking 100%. Distance, and they will go all out. And I told you, I will not be surprised if they add somebody. I will not be surprised.
And like we talked about, that kid in Washington, the cornerback, they liked him in the draft. Do not. That
was the guy. William Jackson III was the guy. And
granted, he struggled the last couple of years. Maybe he's calling it the scheme in Washington. He doesn't like the scheme,
and that was why I said that they might go after him. And people, that's stupid. He sucks, and it's like, yeah, he's not playing well. But when he is, we don't know if he's not healthy or not. We don't know what's going on with him. What if he just hates it there and doesn't? I mean, you don't know.
He's a better cornerback than Levi Wallace. Let's stop it. If somebody's saying different, he's not. He's better than Levi Wallace.
The key word is it's an upgrade. Yes. The key word is upgrade. It's an upgrade, period. And
we don't know what's going on with Ahkello Witherspoon. Those hamstring things can be pretty tricky at times. He can come back for a game and be out the rest of the season.
Well, at least with him, he's actually been out 3 games or whatever, 2 or 3. It'll be 3 weeks that he's been out. So hopefully it's healed. But yeah, no, man, I would say a second to give up Chase would do it.